Let's make sure everything is working here. And as always, if we get many live viewers, though we don't typically get that many live viewers, but if we do get some questions, I will go back at the end of the stream, and I will go back and answer some questions. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the gold chart. Okay. So I know I don't make videos very often on this channel anymore, but it's as I've kind of been doing other things, but I do like to do these market update videos for you guys at least once every few months, okay? Just to let you guys know where we're at, where I'm at, and how we're moving forward with our finances, okay? Most important themes today, and in today's world, I should say, is that we want to be avoiding holding many dollars or fiat currencies in general. So this is things like the pound, the euro, the yen, the US dollar, the Canadian one. All these major currencies you want to have enough money wherever you live. Like for here in America, we use the dollar, obviously. You want to have enough dollars to, pay rent for a few months and have enough cushion and things like that. But as far as actual investing and money that you're saving, you do not want to be holding these currencies, okay? Now, the safest thing you want to be holding at this time, in a time of reckless money printing and spending by governments, also a time where governments are freezing bank accounts and locking up political opposition, okay? The safest is gold. That's why I want to start with the gold chart here. Gold, in my opinion, is in a bull market, okay? Now, if you remember the last run up here, sorry, I got a little bit of a cough. Oh man, my kids have been sick with like COVID variants or something for like a month straight. We got a little bit of a cup and handle here. You see, this is the cup. You see a little bit of a handle forming, okay? And we had this big run up from about 1200 all the way up to 2000 here. And then we had a little bit of consolidation. This is the monthly chart. And we can see that we're starting to break out here. Okay, we see this volume spike. And this volume is very, very impressive, you guys. So not only did we break resistance level here, we had resistance here at about 1870. Look at this volume spike on the weekly. This is the biggest bull volume in the charts, maybe the history of the chart. Let's see over here. Yeah, it's bigger than any of these. We had big bear volume over here. And let's see, about 2013. This is the biggest bull volume spike on the weekly in the chart's history. Okay, so this is big money buying. This is probably a central bank, a country, or BlackRock, or one of these giant corporations. This is big money wanting to get in and breaking through resistance here, and it's a big thing. Okay. So gold is in a bull market, okay? Gold is the most liquid and the safest investment that you can hold right now, okay? And you want to hold it, in my opinion, preferably you want to hold it in your own possession. Things like GLD on the stock market are probably okay. It is audited. I don't even really trust that fully. In my opinion, you do want gold in your own possession, okay? But gold is in a bull market, okay? And it's going to keep going up, okay? We can see this move at about doubled. It's been consolidating for it's been more than a year now. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3. It's been about 16 months of consolidation, okay? And I wouldn't be surprised if gold doubled again here. I would say maybe 3,500 is a good target before it starts consolidating for several months again. But yeah, I think gold's an excellent buy right now. I personally do not have any gold. I prefer to leverage with silver, okay? And we can see that silver will start to follow gold, okay? And silver's doing an interesting fractal of what it did previously. We can see here, over the course of about 16, 18 months, it tested this level about 3 or 4 times before breaking down and doing this, right? Now it's testing to the upside, and we can see we already tested it 3 times, and we're ready for this fourth wave. This fourth wave in the coming months, I believe it'll break through this resistance level, and we will start to test all-time highs in silver. Okay, especially as gold is in a bull market. Typically what happens is gold leads, and then once gold has reached a certain point and the market is confident in gold, some of that money trickles down into silver, and silver then starts to outperform gold at like a levered gold position. Okay, and so yeah, silver, same thing. You want it in your own possession, and you want it to be secure and safe. Okay, but gold and silver are excellent. I prefer silver right now. If you look historically, silver and gold ratio should be about 10 to 1, 15 to 1. Right now it's more like 80 to 1, somewhere around there. And I believe gold will be outperformed by silver. So I do think silver is a better buy. But it's good to have both in your portfolio. All the precious metals are pretty good. Okay, even copper is good. Platinum, palladium, those are also good. Platinum's actually outperformed, I think, gold or silver lately. So platinum's been a great investment. You can actually buy platinum silver eagles. They're pretty rare, but you can get them. So platinum's another great investment. I'll say those are the top 3, right? Gold, silver, platinum. You could have a portfolio of those, okay? But you want to be buying, okay? You want to be saving as much money as possible, and you want to be holding your wealth in these sort of assets. Again, you do not want to be holding these dying currencies right now. Even anything tangible is going to be better at this time than those currencies. Okay, that includes land, real estate, whatever. Okay, so we can see gold moving again right now. Look at this. Let's go to the hourly. Yep. Spike. It's breaking out again right now. It's impressive. Gold's moving, guys. And this is world-changing stuff. If you look at the gold chart right now, you should be kind of nervous, because what this means is that people are losing faith in the financial system. Okay? And people are moving assets, they're moving money out of these fiat currencies that are dying, and they're moving money out of bonds and government debt and corporate debt, and they're buying gold. And we can see from the gold price that governments are having a hard time. That's part of the reason why we see the governments are starting to get desperate in a lot of ways. We see it with the Canadian government now, locking down protesters, freezing bank accounts, blocking even Bitcoin addresses. So, gold going up, gold in a way is a hedge for big money against political volatility, right? And if gold is surging like it is right now, the market's telling us something. That means that institutions and people are losing faith in the system. Okay, and so you can expect it to get worse before it gets better, in my opinion. The restrictions, the emergency powers that we're seeing in Western nations, they're having a hard time, and they're gonna have a much harder time as they can't service their debt. Okay. So we want to be holding gold, silver. I don't see a top for gold and silver and platinum precious metals anytime soon. Okay. In my opinion, you also want to be a holder of cryptocurrencies. Okay. My favorite cryptocurrency for people to buy right now is still Bitcoin Cash. Now let's look at the monthly. I'm going to go to the weekly on Bitcoin Cash. Now you see it revisited a pretty important area right here. This sort of 250 to, let's see up here, this 450 range. Okay. And we've back tested it. Now if Bitcoin Cash breaks to lower lows, that's not a good sign. We don't want to see it go below like 250 in my opinion. But I don't want to get too technical with it. I plan on making another Bitcoin Cash video just specifically on why I think Bitcoin Cash is such a good buy later on this week. But Bitcoin Cash has a lot of stuff going. So you have to realize that how markets work is that they become so skewed one way that the scales are too skewed, okay? And then there's opportunity on the other side of the scale, and then we get a flip back. Not necessarily a reversion of the scale, but at least some sort of reversion to the mean. Okay. And we can see this in the Bitcoin Cash Bitcoin chart. There was a time when Bitcoin Cash, so it's a fork of Bitcoin, okay? When it first forked, about 0.2, so about 5 Bitcoin Cash would buy you 1 Bitcoin. Now, let's go to the monthly chart here, actually. Okay. Now, look how far it's crashed. This is over the course of about 3 years. Okay. Actually, it's been longer than that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. It's been about 4 years. It's been about 4 years. Okay. And now it takes about, let's see, like 125 around there. 125 Bitcoin Cash, 120 Bitcoin Cash to equal 1 Bitcoin. Okay. In my opinion, the scales have skewed too far that way. Okay. Because the market has not priced in the technical upgrades that Bitcoin Cash has had in these 4 years. Bitcoin has remained very stagnant. Okay. Whereas Bitcoin Cash has added opcodes, has added many DeFi sort of protocols. It's much more scalable. I would say from a pure utilitarian, just from the code base standpoint, Bitcoin Cash is roughly 100 times more powerful than Bitcoin right now, just if it was being used as much as Bitcoin. The difference with Bitcoin is now it's viewed as digital gold. It has all the network effects. It has people promoting it. People believe in it. People know it. It's a household name. That's the main difference with Bitcoin. Okay, but from a pure utility standpoint, Bitcoin Cash, I think, is very undervalued. Okay, and again, I will make a video later this week talking about why I think it's so undervalued. Mainly, it's something to do with something called Smart Bitcoin Cash. Okay, and this is a very important development. What it is, it's a side chain. What's called a side chain, and it can run the Ethereum smart contracts, and it uses Bitcoin Cash's gas that's locked up on the main chain. And this is very powerful. Okay, and it's about 100 times more scalable than Ethereum. Okay, but Bitcoin is kind of like gold compared to the precious metals, right? It's the biggest, it's the most liquid, it's the one most the big money is buying. Okay, so Bitcoin will be the safest. Okay. Other coins I still like Theta. Okay, I still have my Theta bag. I like Thorchain. I like Rune. I think that's in a good buy. I think all these coins are in a good buy. I like XPRT. This is the White Dove pick. You can see it's been, the price is way, way down. But was it, like $17? Now it's at $3, right? Now, crypto's not for everyone, okay? If you have a hard time with electronics, if it makes you nervous, the volatility is insane. These coins go up and down. Let's see, let's just look at XPRT, for example. Let's do a measurement here. So we went from 16.3 down to here. 82%. So this coin crashed 82%. And arguably, this wasn't even really a bear market. In a full-on crypto bear market, these coins go down 98%, okay? So the volatility is a lot. It's not for your average investor. A lot of people lose money in crypto because they day trade and they use leverage and things like that. But the coins that I think have good fundamentals, you want to buy and hold and accumulate on the dips. Okay, and then as it goes up, you can start to take profits and you can buy more precious metals. Okay, I have more silver than I would have had now because I bought cryptos. Okay, and I was able to take out some of the gains that I had in cryptos, right? And so I think you want to have a mix of both. I know Dr. Wilson doesn't like cryptos, a lot of them are scams, and most of them will go to zero. It's just like the dot-com bubble, right? The dot-com bubble, there were all these internet companies in the early 2000s, late 90s, and a lot of them became worthless. And they all had massive evaluations like pets.com and stuff like that. It was notorious. And but out of the crash came Amazon and Google and all these giant tech companies, right? Same thing will happen with crypto. Most of them will go to zero. But out of that will come the next Amazon, the next whatever, that will be crypto-based, okay? And, there's a reason. You have to look at the actions of the government, right, too. Why has the Canadian government banned Bitcoin addresses? because they fear it in a lot of ways. Bitcoin use as peer-to-peer cash is very, very. That's why I like Bitcoin Cash, right? Because it's more of what Satoshi, the inventor of Bitcoin, kind of envisioned. And I think it's in a very, very good buy. I think that my favorite investment strategy for people right now is just put 50% into silver, 50% into Bitcoin Cash. That's my sort of keep it simple, stupid sort of thing, okay? But again, Bitcoin and crypto is not for everyone, okay? Storing your own keys is not easy. Learning how to handle like a hardware wallet, like a Trezor, handling the volatility, makes people nervous. For a lot of people, just sticking to precious metals is best. And that's okay. Silver is going to perform very well, I think. Okay, I think silver will go back to 10 or 15 to 1 or even maybe 5 to 1 with gold. So where does that put silver? I mean, think about it. If gold goes to $3,000, or it should be higher, but let's say it goes to $10,000. Gold could easily go to $10,000 with how much money printing that's happened. Let's say gold goes to $10,000, and then silver goes back to 10 to 1. Okay, that's $1,000 an ounce silver. Okay, how big of a move is that from now? That's a big move. Let's say a 10x would be from $100. If silver was $10, it'd almost be $1,000. But it's like a 500. It's like a 400x for silver. Okay, so and silver could easily do that. Okay, if gold just goes to $5,000, silver could go to $500. Okay, I could see 500 ounce silver. Look how much inflation has hit. Look at the stock market, and silver is half of its all-time high. Look at it; its all-time high is $48. What other asset like silver that has a history of monetary use? It's scarce. It's used in all the industrial things today, like smartphones, all the electronics, solar panels, have need for silver. They can't function without silver. And it's a monetary metal. It's both, okay? And it's half of its all-time high. What other asset like silver is half of its all-time high with how much inflation we've had, okay? It's absurd. Silver is absurdly undervalued, okay? And I don't know if it's going to happen tomorrow. Maybe it'll happen slower, like this chart. It'll just start to go in waves, and then it'll go up, and they'll knock it down. It'll go up, and they'll knock it down. It'll go up. But silver, in my opinion, will be in the hundreds of ounces, if not thousands of dollars per ounce someday. Okay, silver is quite scarce, and it's an essential part of modern life, and it has a monetary use case as well. Typically, it was used just like gold as a store of value, okay? And so, yeah, I think silver is very, very undervalued. And that's why my favorite portfolio for people is just to go half Bitcoin Cash, half silver. But for most people, crypto, I think, is probably not the best choice. Better just buy gold and silver. You could do 50% gold, 50% silver. You could do like 40% gold, 40% silver, 20% platinum. Those are all sort of portfolios that would... You'll outperform almost everything, okay? But that's where we are, okay? Let's see if we have any questions. Okay, no questions. But yeah, and we're in trying times, okay? And part of your health is tied to money, okay? Because with money, you need resources, right, to be healthy and live a fruitful, long life, okay? You need money to take care of yourself, to take care of your family, to do your nutritional balancing program, okay? Part of that is learning how to run a business, okay? I wouldn't say that the first thing you should do necessarily is invest. The first, most wealth is built through business. And what that is people build a business, and then they reinvest the money back into the business, and they grow it, okay? Probably want to do a mix of both. You want to have your own business, and then you want to be taking some of your profits, and you want to be rolling it into assets that hedge you against the collapsing fiat currencies, okay? But yeah, Bitcoin Cash is my favorite right now. I like Theta, I like Rune. Bitcoin is good. Most of the bigger ones are okay. Ethereum is a good buy right now. It's basically a blue chip like Bitcoin at this point. I can tell you my top 5 holdings are still right now Theta, Bitcoin Cash, Rune, XPRT. Yeah, I think my 5th right now is like Very or something, but I didn't mean for Very to be in my top 5. I did have ADA, but I sold my ADA for more Bitcoin Cash just because I feel Bitcoin Cash is very undervalued. And we can see with this wedge here that I think Bitcoin Cash is due for a massive move. Let's see, on the Bitcoin chart here. This is like, what, a 3-year wedge? There's not a lot of room in it. And you can see there might be some evidence that we're already sort of coming out of it. We'll see here. We can see we're kind of spilling out sideways, which is good because usually it's been spikes, so then it goes back into the wedge. You can see here it's a spike back in the wedge, and then if you go back on the chart here, spike back in the wedge. So the fact that we're starting to spill out of this downtrend is a good sign. And there's lots of game theory with Bitcoin Cash, and I think it sounds crazy, but I am of the belief that Bitcoin Cash will pass Bitcoin within like 2.5 years. The reason for this is because as Bitcoin Cash grows and has more transactions, miners will start to leave Bitcoin for Bitcoin Cash, and there's a lot of game theory that goes into it, okay? But I'm pretty confident that Bitcoin Cash will pass Bitcoin, and I have a very strong intuitive sense about that, okay? But, so, yeah, very bullish on it. All right, one more check for questions. Still holding Bitcoin Cash. Yes, Bitcoin Cash is the biggest financial bet that I've ever made in my life. Okay. I'm a risk taker. I've always been a risk taker. It's served me very well. I always follow my intuition, and I always go against the herd. Those things have served me very well. Bitcoin Cash has been so destroyed versus Bitcoin. Again, look at this chart. It's been in a downtrend versus Bitcoin for about 4 years. If you go on Twitter and social media, the people that own Bitcoin will tell you Bitcoin Cash is a scam. They say it's dead and it's never coming back. Okay? So you have to realize that the scales have all tipped to one side. Bitcoin Cash is dead. It's a scam. It's never coming back. Sell while you still can get any money out of it. And then we have the other side of the scale, which is that Bitcoin Cash has gone through 4 years of upgrades now. It's just starting to get up. It's starting to get network effects. We're seeing it's being used a lot in the Caribbean. They're using it as cash. Not only that, it's starting to get these side chains they can do Ethereum smart contracts. And we can look at the stats. We can let's go to Graphena here. Okay, and we can track this smart Bitcoin Cash chain, which is what it's called Smart Bitcoin Cash. And we can look at the stats of how many transactions it's doing. And we can see they're all up and to the right. Okay. And if we understand what Smart Bitcoin Cash does, okay, first of all, it uses locked Bitcoin Cash as gas. So we can see how many Bitcoin Cash are locked. Let's go to the last 30 days here. We can see 101,500 Bitcoin Cash are now locked. And we can see this sort of step up where more and more Bitcoin Cash are being locked up. So that's 101,000 Bitcoin Cash that has the same circulating numbers as Bitcoin locked up. We can see that's burning Bitcoin Cash because half of the transaction fees on the sidechain are being burned forever. So far, 267 Bitcoin Cash have been burned, and we can see it's increasing. Right now, before it was burning about 2 Bitcoin Cash a day. Now it's burning almost 3 Bitcoin Cash a day. Okay, we can see that it's hitting all-time highs for transactions per second. And then you can go look at how much Ethereum is burning and how much fees that Ethereum generates. Okay, and then we can see that this sidechain can handle about 80 times the transaction count of Ethereum. So if it gets anywhere close to what Ethereum's doing, think about how many Bitcoin Cash will be being burnt and how much Bitcoin Cash will be locked up. Okay? This is not priced into the market, in my opinion. All the scales have become tilted. Okay? The fact that you can sell one Bitcoin for almost 125 Bitcoin Cash, the market sentiment around it, the fact that people think it's a scam and everything. And then you look at the network effects building, look at the community behind it. You look at its adoption in these third world countries. You look at the smart Bitcoin Cash growth. Okay, in my opinion, it's become very skewed. Okay, so I've made Bitcoin Cash the biggest bet of my life. How I've done that is I've been taking profits from other coins as coins like Theta go up and Thorchain or whatever. All these, I have like a portfolio of coins, right? Every time one pumps a lot, I take some and I buy more Bitcoin Cash. Okay, that's what I've been doing. Projections on ETH, I don't have any specific projections for Ethereum. Okay, it'll go up. Okay, I think one day Ethereum will probably flip Bitcoin. And it's getting pretty close. Let's go look at the ETH-BTC chart. You know, Ethereum has a lot more utility than Bitcoin. Okay. Let's go look at the Ethereum. Bitfinex has been around a long time. We'll do Bitfinex. Yeah, we can see Ethereum's, you know, I think it's bull flagging here. Or not really bull flagging, but it's ascending. Higher lows and higher highs here. And I think it'll start to break resistance and hit all-time highs versus Bitcoin, and then it'll flip Bitcoin. You know, Ethereum's not that far from flipping Bitcoin. But I also think Bitcoin Cash will flip Bitcoin. But again, for my favorite risk reward right now is still Bitcoin Cash. And a lot of people, yeah, they're very skeptical of that. Like, what? You're buying so much Bitcoin Cash right now? But you know, I was also buying Theta at 10 cents. You know, I bought my first Bitcoin for around $300. I was buying silver when it was a lot cheaper than now. Okay. So I would like to think I have a fairly good track record. And again, the market, I've never seen a coin where it's so hated and so put down on social media and everyone thinks it's dead, and then the network effects start to really build. I've never seen it so skewed. And so I have a long-term plan for Bitcoin Cash. But that's the one that I don't want to take profits on for at least a couple years. Okay? My portfolio is like 50-50 ETH, Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, that's a good portfolio. You know, you can't, that's not, you know, keep it simple, right? Make sure you have some metals though too. That's a good crypto portfolio. I wouldn't necessarily say put all your net worth into Bitcoin Cash and Ethereum. Although I do think crypto will outperform precious metals. Although maybe there'll be moments where silver probably will outperform even cryptos. You know, we could be nearing one of those moments because silver is the most manipulated asset on planet Earth. At least for physical assets, right? It's the most, in my opinion, silver is like the most undervalued physical asset on Earth. So we could get times where silver outperforms even cryptos, especially like Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin's a big market cap now and doesn't move like it used to. But yeah, 50-50 Ethereum and Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Just make sure you have some metals, right? Get some gold, have some... Or if you're all in those coins, I wouldn't necessarily sell them for metals right now, but as we go up in this next wave up in cryptos that I think we're entering as we go into March, I would definitely start to take some profits into metals, okay? But yeah, that's cool. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Stick to the plan, okay? We know the scenario that we're in. We know that governments are starting to lose control of their finances. We know the money printing is not going to stop, and we want to hedge ourselves. We want to hold non-fiat assets. We want to hold precious metals. We want to hold crypto. We want to hold real things, okay? And we want to have a basket of these things, okay? We don't want to just put all our money into gold or into one crypto or whatever. We want to hedge ourselves somewhat. We want to have gold and silver. We want to have Bitcoin Cash. We want to have a couple different cryptos, okay? We want to have a couple different metals. And we want to, and then that way we can thrive during this time. I truly believe that with this knowledge and knowing where the world is headed and knowing that these things are in uptrends, we can truly thrive during this somewhat chaotic time. All right, I love you guys. All right, bye.